when you watch a fighter from early on, like the Ultimate Fighter, you kind of gain some kind of connection to the fighter. You always want to see them win, so you can turn around to the guy next to you and say, "Hey, by the way, I watched her first fight."
Yeah,
So
thank you.
yeah. So how's life been treating you?
It's okay. Being a mom is hard. So I'm not able to train or really do much except take care of him. So kind of sucks, but
I understand. I understand. So you
you have
kind
any
of
kids?
sorry. Go ahead.
Do you have any kids?
No, I don't. I don't. I'm 28, but I don't have any kids yet. One day soon.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm 42 and I just had a kid. So
Oh, wow,
it's
you
your
do not
turn.
look 42, so that's really good.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's all the years of training. It's all the years of training. So let me ask you this: you've had an extremely long career. How has your relationship with fighting changed over the years?
So I feel like fighting has changed as a sport and as an activity, and in that regard, it has also changed for me. For example, it hasn't gotten easier; it actually has gotten harder. I feel like I had been more nervous in my final days of fighting than I was in the beginning because I feel like I didn't really get used to the nervous feeling before the fight. It was more like, oh my gosh, I have so much at stake now. Fighting is my career. If I lose, my rankings go down. If I win, I, get a better shot. So it was actually harder, like emotionally and mentally as things went on. And also training changed. I feel like I just wanted to spar. While I sparred, I just wanted to try out my techniques and get better. But I feel like people in the gym started wanting to just fight and beat me up. So I had trouble finding partners that I really like to go with. So my last years kind of weren't that fun, honestly. It was my most lucrative years, but that was part of the reason why I was okay retiring. I was like, man, this is hard. This kind of sucks. Like
Yeah.
people are giving me concussions in training. Like I want to be
Oh,
done.
wow. Yeah. I hear about this. I hear like this is a common thing in MMA. You know what?
Yeah, but it used to be different. Like now it's a business. Before it used to be let's have fun. We don't really get paid much.
Yeah.
Let's just go fight and do this sport. But now it's like you're getting paid. You got a reputation, like all this other stuff going on. So I think the sport has changed as a result. Training has changed. Gym dynamics have changed. There's more money. It's the
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. How much do you think the show Ultimate Fighter being on there 2 times? How much do you think it elevated your game?
A lot. The first time I was on, I had been living in Japan and I hadn't really experienced American MMA for like 8 years. So then when I came back, it was like, boom, wow, what is all this? These training methods, this technique, the recovery, this and that, and the PI and Performance Institute. And actually, I don't think there was the Performance Institute on the first season, but I got an eye opener. So that's why I moved back to America from Japan. And then the second time, the show itself didn't elevate me as much as it elevated my reputation and my worth. But then, went back to the gym and then learned and improved.
What's something about the Ultimate Fighter show since you've been on twice? What's something about the Ultimate Fighter show that the fans don't know?
Um, I don't know. Like we were able to look in the garage at one point. Someone left the door ajar, so we looked in the garage, and they had the whole studio set up where they had all the TVs and the monitors, and it was really cool. Like, um, we'd expect that to be a studio. They didn't really try to poke us and make us do dramatic things. Um, but I guess after the show went from Spike to what is it now? Fox and then ESPN, I think. I actually wish there was more drama now. Like when I watch it, it's like, all right, I know people have a story, I want to see some drama.
Yeah, just like
um,
everyone wants to see that.
that's a reality show.
Yeah, yeah. I've been
I think they're doing last season. I really liked last season a lot.
was that Grosso and Shevchenko?
I think so. The fighters were really interesting. They were from all over the world. So I thought that was a good one. And my former coach, John Wood, I think is going to be on the next season. He posted about it. So I'm excited for that one too. Not coaching, not training, but not fighting, rather.
Going through your long MMA career, okay, I feel like just like looking at like how many fights you've had, I feel like you're just extremely comfortable in the octagon. How comfortable are you in the octagon? And have you ever been nervous in the octagon?
Not comfortable at all. It's not a comfortable place. Um, if I can get into a good zone, I can kind of forget that I'm there and just focus on fighting.
Yeah.
And then when I'm not in a good zone, I start worrying like, oh no, am I losing? And then I'm usually losing at that point. But yeah, it's not it's kind of a high tension focus zone. So yeah, never really comfortable.
And this is something I asked Macy Chason too. How important is it your technical advice from the corner mid fight? How important is that to you?
Not important. So for me, I can't hear something complicated when I'm fighting. I need to hear like jab, punch, kick, 1 2, 1 2 hook, takedown. Like I need like very simple. And then if the coach tries to like talk to me like, okay, she's doing the jab, you have to make sure you slip, and then you have to make sure like I can't understand that. So that sucks. That's kind of my something I'm lacking. Like I'm not good at that. I wish I could understand better. And I've kind of had trouble in the past where a coach has tried to like talk to me too much and I just it didn't go in my brain. So advice, yes, I need my coach, but the right kind of advice is extremely important for me. It has to be said in the right way, or I'm not going to get
Would
it.
you say more like simple in a simple way
Yeah.
because of the firefight you're in?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the hardest opponent, toughest opponent you've ever faced, and why?
Probably, I want to say Sajara Eubanks, Vanessa Porto, and Jennifer Maya,
Yeah.
because I feel like they're all similar body type, and they were just little tanks. Like I would hit them, and they would like blink, and then keep doing their thing. And I feel like what I was doing wasn't working. It's just I just felt really frustrated. My stuff wasn't working on them. So those guys.
How did you get into fighting?
I wanted to be a superhero, so my mom sent me to a martial arts school. And then I did grappling tournaments, and then I saw one of the people that I grappled against do MMA, and I thought, hey, I could do the ultimate challenge too.
If I'm not mistaken, that's Pennsylvania.
Yep.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So I hear that you're a big fan of Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
Are you also a fan of Pokemon?
Yes. Not lately though. Not lately, but in my younger days. I remember all the things. It's been a really long time. I'm just gonna go with Zapdos because legendary bird Pokemon, that was my strongest in my game, in my Game Boy game. Zapdos was always my strongest. Um, and I'm not even sure if it's good against a grass type, but we'll just pretend it is. And then Krillin, because he's the strongest human in the world, right? Everyone else is an alien or an android. Um, you know, the game plan would be to have Krillin kind of run interference, do some hand to hand, zip in and out, use his small size and speed, maybe his destructo disc a few times, but just to shave their hair. You don't really want to kill them, right? And then my Zapdos would blast them with the electricity, and then they'd fall down and sizzle a little bit and give up. They would tap. The gorillas would tap out.
Now,
Yeah.
now, um, how many just Roxanne Modafferi's to be the gorilla?
5. So
Wow.
one for each limb, and then I would rear naked choke. And I would I have to take a while because they have such thick, massive necks. It would take a while to choke him. So I'd need 3, one on each limb.
Wow, wow, that's a very confident answer. A gorilla is actually like really scary to me. I feel like they just. I don't know if See,
Well,
Kurt
if there's too
Volleyball.
many Roxanne, hang on. If there's too many Roxannes, if there are too many Roxannes, they'd get in each other's way. They wouldn't be able to operate. I've done like 3 versus 1 with my teenagers, and if there are too many kids on me, they get in each other's way and they can't do anything. So that's why I'm like, all right, got to limit it. They can't step on each other, poke each other. So there's got to be space to operate here.
That's an experienced answer then.
I've never fought a gorilla though, nor do I want to, or a bear for that matter. The stupid bear.
I would say a bear would be way easier to beat than a gorilla for sure.
Extay.
So, what would if you were in Dragon Ball Z? What would be your special move?
Oh, I've never thought about that. That's like an exciting question. I like this interview.
Thank you. I'm glad you
Oh, what do you think?
just like a solid Kamehameha.
But Goku already has a Kamehameha. I'm kind of I don't know if you like video games. I'm kind of a melee style fighter where I just smash forward. So
Yeah,
I'd probably like maybe just maybe super block, and then maybe some kind of energy. I could just block like this, and it'd be impenetrable. And then I'd go like rah, and I do like an X shaped energy wave after I'm done blocking. That could be an attack.
yeah, that's good. That's a pretty self-preserving move. You know, if you
Yeah,
walk around with an orb, that'd be nice too. So, Roxanne, I know you live in Japan, right?
I lived in Japan.
Oh, you lived in Japan. Okay. So I don't know if you've been noticing all this in the past like 6 years all over the news, this whole UFO and UAP talk. What do you think is going on, and what do you think is the reality of the planet we live on, and if there is visitors or not, if they're from here, and what's going on there?
Uh, I think that the public never knows 100% of what's going on truthfully, and the truth is always somewhere in the middle. I bet there are aliens somewhere out there, whether they've reached Earth or not. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if there were, because there's so many science fiction movies about them. Like, now we have like AI, and I'm like, oh man, the Terminator is coming. Like, be careful. If you can imagine it, it can happen, right? So I bet you there are aliens. I don't know if there are actually aliens here. What was the first thing you asked me? Maybe yeah, yeah. I don't know. Maybe spy balloons. I'm not sure. I will say I wouldn't be surprised if they were really aliens, but I'm not going to bet money on it
Thought you would be an interesting person to ask this to.
because I love the X Files. Truth is out there.
So, um, you're known for your positivity usually. I feel like
Really, yeah.
every time you give a post octagon interview or any interview for that matter, you're always smiling, always talking about something positive. And so, and I don't know if I've ever seen that with anybody else, but that's how you're special. But what did fighting teach you about emotional control and ego and stuff, you know?
I don't know if it really taught me something specific, except just a very strong focus on what I'm doing. So, if I have any kind of negative emotions or whatever turmoil inside, I know I learned how to redirect my thoughts. Like, okay, you're nervous, but jab, straight hook. Oh, okay, you might lose, you might win. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Like, just make sure you just keep redirecting, and just learning that the other thoughts, the intrusive thoughts will come. You can't block them, but you can always redirect them. And I think that applies to anything in life. Like, okay, you're going to get the negative thoughts. You can't block them, but you can redirect them. You can remind yourself no matter what. So I think that's a big thing.
Is there someone in your family that your personality kind of mirrors or takes a lot from?
No, but my mom taught me a lot about positivity. Always, say the positive thing. Okay, there's the negative, but always say the positive thing. So she really inspired me to have that kind of attitude.
Got it, got it. And I hear that you've never drank before, never smoked, never partied.
What do you mean by never partying? I down so much ice cream, I get sugar high. Like, what are you talking about? No, yeah, that's basically correct. I've had like my parents forced me to have a sip of red wine, and but yeah, I'm not into alcohol or the drug partying or anything.
I'm sure that's helped you a lot in your career.
Probably never had to deal with any negative consequences of such things. Although, partaking once in a while, I'm sure is not the end of the world. So
Yeah,
for those who like that, power
yeah,
to you.
like that, you know. And are you ever going to come back?
How did what never burn out?
How did your fire never burn out? You've had so many fights, and you always, every time you're in there, you just look fresh.
Thank you. Yeah, I no, I'm not going to come back because I'm 42. I have a baby, that's not in my lifestyle. But even if I were to consider it, I went sparring maybe a couple months ago and I forgot my headgear and my partner hit me in the head and it wasn't hard at all, but he rocked me. So I know that my brain has had it. I don't want to get any brain damage. I've taken tests to confirm that I don't have brain damage. I'm not slower. I've gone to the Cleveland Clinic and they ran scans on my brain. So I passed. No CTE for this girl here. We want to keep it that way. So the fact that I got hit once lightly and I got rocked, like, it's rocked meaning like, like a little too much. So
I
I'm just
think
going to do
whatever.
jujitsu.
What about as a fan? Like, how active are you as a fan of MMA?
So I'm sorry, UFC pay-per-views are so expensive. I can't even afford them, as a stay-at-home mom. Like, so I stopped watching pay-per-views because they're just so expensive. But I watch the free ones. I basically try to watch the people that I know personally, and then people I'm a fan of. Like I'm a fan of Mickey Gall and other jiu-jitsu people because I love seeing that jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
But I don't know everybody. I'm finding now there are fewer and fewer people on the fight cards that I know, and I feel like, yeah, there could be better lead up so that I get to know them. Like if it's the Ultimate Fighter, I already know about them, so I'm really stoked to watch anybody I've seen on the Ultimate Fighter. But yeah, I'm a moderate fan right now.
got it, got it, got it. I know you're really busy. I know your baby is teething and stuff. I'm only going to ask you two more questions, and I'm
Okay,
sorry that we were late today. So I'm going to give you two more questions, and then we're going to
me
be
too.
good. Okay. Um, can you tell me a story about you standing up to a bully? Has that ever happened in your life?
Uh, I didn't. I got teased a lot, but not bullied a lot. So there was this one time I wrote about this in my book, one of my books. Um, I was a kid, probably like 8 or 9 or 10, and this boy named Andy, I'll leave out his last name, he used to follow me around with in the neighborhood with a water gun and shoot me in the eyes, which sucked. He threw dirt at my bike and just was mean. So one day I just started, no, I must have been 13 because I started Taekwondo when I was 13. 13. 12, something like that anyway. So I was like, I know Taekwondo now. So when he shot me with the water gun, I ran up and I grabbed the water gun. And then he was like, hey, let go of my water gun. And I was like, no. And we had like a tug of war. And I was this dorky little girl who just started Taekwondo. And I ripped the top off and it broke. And I was like, and I ran away. And then he stopped bullying me. I didn't even punch him or anything. I didn't have to use my special like that. So I didn't have to. I just, yeah, broke his water gun and then oh, my mom told me that he came to the front door and complained about it, but I didn't know anything about that until like a year ago when she told me when I brought the story up. So
Hilarious.
I don't really have any cool bully stories other than that one.
Well, that's good. At least you got Andy off your back. Um, what's one pre-fight ritual or superstition that people will be shocked to hear you actually believe in or used to?
Nothing interesting. I just try to eat pancakes before fighting.
Why?
I don't know. It's a tradition.
Chocolate chip or plain?
Not chocolate chip because I don't want unhealthy. I don't want it to bother my stomach, but like banana nut or something interesting with like some good fats in there.
I know I said two more questions, but does any fighter ever drink like a Red Bull before fighting or coffee?
Probably. Oh yeah, I take caffeine before fighting. Like
Okay,
I don't
okay.
like coffee, but I take caffeine pills.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for everything, Roxanne. Honestly, I've been such a big fan of you. Every time I see you, I love watching you fight, and just love seeing you on the screen in general. So I really appreciate you doing this interview. Is there anything else you want to leave with the fans? You have the mic.
Yeah, thanks for remembering me. I would hate to be forgotten, so it's really nice that some people follow me on social media and still cheer for me and encourage me. So that's very nice. And thank you as well. I know I retired a few years ago, but thanks for remembering me.
Well, I mean, anyone that knows MMA, anyone that really follows MMA knows that you're a pioneer for women's MMA. So I don't think anyone will be forgetting you.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roxanne. I really appreciate your presence, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
You're very welcome.